Hi, I'm Katie Ziskind. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist at Wisdom Within Counseling. This video is all about how your mood, so how you feel, your energy levels, your frustration, your tiredness, are all impacted by what you eat, how you eat, and the availability of nutrients in your diet. So this is a quick video all about food and mood, food and vitamins, and food and mental health. So Hippocrates, an ancient mathematician and scientist, once said, "Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food." Hi, Meg. So your food can be a medicine. It can be a way of caring for your whole self. Good morning. Thanks for commenting. So when you don't eat well, say you're eating a lot of processed foods, these are symptoms of imbalance. So allergies, arthritis, chemical sensitivities, emotional hypersensitivity, sleeping problems, irritability, memory lapse, brain fog. Hi, Erin. High blood sugar, high cholesterol, high fatigue, so you're tired all the time, increased belly fat, low bone density, right, from not having enough nutrients, lethargy, low energy, melancholy, depression, and then restricting and binging is something that often happens as a result. So if you have any of these symptoms, just know that you can cure them through food, and they are actually symptoms of a greater issue. By treating the source, which is through nutrition, you'll actually start to feel better. So first of all, what is protein? So protein is essential because it builds your organs, your muscles. It's very important for delivering amino acids, vital for enzyme function. So right now, if you're watching, comment a good source of protein. I'm gonna wait for those comments to pop in. So thinking about in a healthy meal, this is tip number 1. We're looking at healthy fats, fiber, natural fiber, and protein all in one meal, and that's what allows it to be complete. So you'll have energy, you'll feel full longer. So that also lowers your glycemic index of a food. Glycemic index is the amount that a food spikes your blood sugar. So candy, white bread, white potato, they're all gonna spike your blood sugar. But if you have something like wheat berries that took an hour to cook on the stove, the longer the grain takes to cook, the slower it will spike your blood sugar because it's going to have more fiber, more B vitamins, more iron, more nutrients, and be more really nutrient rich for your body. So the longer the grain takes to cook, the lower the GI as well. So let's look at like wheat berries with some avocado, with some organic chicken, and then maybe later on, a few hours later, an orange as a snack. So that would be a complete meal. It would not be going to Dunkin' Donuts and getting a bagel with cream cheese because that isn't complete. You're getting fat in the cream cheese, but the bagel has no fiber, so you have no soluble fiber, so it's going to cause an immediate spike in blood sugar, and there's no protein, so that wouldn't be a complete meal. So it's going to lead you to be hungry within an hour if you go grab a bagel at Dunkin' Donuts. So protein can come from yogurt, beans, soybeans. Edamame is a great thing if you're headed to the Spice Club later tonight. Get some edamame as an appetizer. It's a steamed soybean, a little salt on top. You pop the peas out of the pod, a great source of fiber and protein. Looking for local eggs in the local farm, local grass-fed beef are all really good sources of protein. So what's the deal with fats? So fats are really important. We've had all this lack of information, wrong information about fat-free is bad, is good. It's not. It's actually, when they take fat out of a food, they have to add extra sugar and salt and processed preservatives, because fat's also a natural preservative. So fats are lipids and triglycerides. So if you've had blood work and it says high triglycerides, it means you're getting too much processed animal fat. So that means this would be a great session. You could come in for a nutrition session and really get on top of your health rather than taking a statin or an anti-cholesterol medication, which actually doesn't address the source of the issue. So in 1977, we had a low-fat recommendation. What happened is a researcher went over to the Mediterranean, right? But it was during Lent. So like people weren't eating lots of red meat. They were eating mostly fish. And so that's where the low fat recommendation came from. But in the midst of this study, they traveled to all different countries, and they actually, this was funded by the dairy and the meat industry. all these different chemical plants. And so they actually they handpicked the outliers. So they said, oh, these people eat a lot of fat, but they have healthy hearts. Let's take them out of the study. So it really was not a well-conducted study. It was not scientifically evidence-based. So now looking back, it really was to fuel these fat-free food products. So when you look at fat, we're looking for healthy fats: olives, avocado, sunflower seeds, cashews. Cashews also are a great source of zinc, which boosts your immune system. And fats don't make you fat. It's processed oils and sugars that do. So when we look at processed oils, we're looking at hydrogenated oil, Jiffy peanut butter. Even if your Skippy peanut butter says natural, you want to turn it around and look on the back and make sure it does not have hydrogenated oil. So fats, eating avocados will not make you fat because there's fiber, potassium, vitamin C, and protein, a little tiny bit of protein. But having something like loads of olive oil or loads of, Pop-Tarts where they're just filled with hydrogenated oil, having real olives, having real wholesome things, are really, your brain is almost all fat. Your heart is pretty much all fat too. So it makes sense when you take fat out of a food. If you're on a low-fat diet, you're going to have brain fog. You're going to be irritable because your brain literally needs that fat to work. So when you look at foods, oftentimes they'll say fat-free candy, right? Candy doesn't have fat in it anyway, so they're just going to put that on there to try to sell it to you. Just like they would put like free-range eggs. Like free-range isn't even a term that can be used, so they'll put it on there and then they can charge you more for free-range eggs, but they're just raised the exact same way, mass-produced. So if we look at peanut butter, one peanut butter brand that I really recommend is Teddy. You can get smooth or crunchy. It's old-fashioned peanut butter. And when you buy it, you will see a little bit of oil on the top of the peanut butter. Hi, Carolyn. Because that is the healthy oil. Oil will separate. That's natural. And so you want to make sure that your peanut butter only has peanuts and perhaps salt. No other oils, no other sugar, no palm oil, nothing. You don't need it. Hydrogenated oil. So in your body, trans fats, hydrogenated oil. So you have fats that look like a circle, right? But then when you have trans fats, there's like an extra spoke. It's like a broken bike wheel, right? So your body has to like take in this broken bike wheel and then figure out what to do with it. And it immediately goes to storage. Trans fats cannot be processed by your body. That's why on the ingredient list, they have to be put in bold. But if the serving of food has less than half a gram of trans fat, they don't have to put it on the ingredients. So like let's just say hypothetically, you get crackers. And like the serving of crackers is like 6 crackers. If in those 6 crackers, there's less than half a gram of trans fat, like the company doesn't have to list it. So you could essentially eat 2 servings and get a full gram of trans fat, which directly links to heart disease and cancer. But if it's under the serving size, they don't have to list it. So just know, look on there, be very perceptive when reading labels, be educated as you go food shopping. And hydrogenated oils in a lot of processed food, so just keep an eye out for that. And just know that I can't believe it's not butter isn't actually healthy. That's a hydrogenated oil, vegetable oils that is made into margarine. So you're much better off going for a grass-fed, wholesome butter. That's real butter, cream and salt. And so I recommend Kerrygold. It's an Irish butter and it's from grass-fed cows. So healthy fats are really important because your body needs omega-3s and omega-6s, but in our culture, we have way too many omega-6s and just very little omega-3s. So they've done studies. So there was a caveman that researchers dug up and found, and in this caveman, there was a 1-to-1 ratio of omega-3s to omega-6s, right? So this is hundreds of years ago. In our Americanized bodies, we have like a 25-to-1 ratio of omega-6s to omega-3s. And this is where we get inflammation. This is where we get depression. Depression is really just inflammation of your brain. So we're looking for wild salmon, sardines, even seaweed. Omega-3s are found in animals, much more absorbable from animals that eat seaweed, that eat algae. So when we look at omega-3s, they really are not easily absorbable from plants. So even though flax seeds that are ground have a great source of omega-3s, it's really, really hard for your body to like convert it into animal-based omega-3. So just keep that in mind. Fish oils are awesome. So carbohydrates, they are energy. So keto, I'm not a fan of it. Low carb, I'm not a fan of it unless you have type 2 diabetes and you're working a short-term plan to really, through nutrition, heal type 2 diabetes. You need carbohydrates every day. We're not talking about donuts. We're not talking about sugar. Those are carbs, but those are fast burning carbohydrates. When I talk about carbs, we're looking at something that looks brown. So steel-cut oatmeal, old-fashioned oatmeal that you have to cook on the stove, not microwave oats, because the fiber is taken out. They're really processed. Wheat berries, spelt berries. You can buy these in bulk from Bob's Red Mill at like Ocean State Job Lot. Like, these are so easily accessible. It just takes time to cook them. So cook up a batch of quinoa or farro for your week, and then every time you want something quick, like a slice of white bread, go for that farro instead, and you'll have a lot more fiber and nutrients. So it's really, really important for energy to have slow burning carbohydrates, and you will feel so much better because they actually are prebiotics. So prebiotics are what you need in order to process probiotics. So this is just such a fun talk. I love doing this. So one more kind of final tip for your nutrition video today are the impacts of inflammation. So I think this is such a key component when we look at mental health, depression, anxiety, brain fog, melancholy, not having enough energy at 2 p.m. to keep going through your workday. So this is the problem. People skip meals because they feel like they've eaten way too much the night before. So maybe you ate a carton of ice cream, you're going to skip breakfast. And that leads to low blood sugar. Now we have brain fog that develops, anxiety, OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, ADD, you can't concentrate, nutrition imbalances, you can't actually build bones or build bone density because you haven't eaten, depression, and you get hangry. So this is the problem. You're like sitting at work, you're hangry. Trying to fix the problem with quick sugars makes it worse. So you're going to actually spike your blood sugar. Say you go to Dunkin' Donuts in the morning and you want that, or Starbucks, get that Frappuccino, and you get like a cake pop or a donut. Like, that's only going to spike your blood sugar and make you feel worse. And that leads to crashing. So when we look at physical and emotional crashing, it's related to too much sugar. It leads to mental health issues. Your brain can't make serotonin, your feel-good chemical, with only a donut. You literally need probiotics, prebiotics, all these rainbow of colors every single day to make your brain chemicals to feel good. GABA, which is GABA aminobutyric acid, which is actually much lower in victims of trauma. So again, nutrition is a huge piece in healing from trauma. Dopamine, serotonin, your happy hormones. So the goal here are multiple meals throughout the day, every few hours, with whole grain carbohydrates and real high quality proteins, healthy fats, real fiber. So what does this do? It gives you sustainable energy, balanced metabolism, a positive body image, and really at the end of the day, you're centered. You're not feeling frazzled and you're not feeling exhausted. You actually have even levels of energy. So if you're struggling with depression, with anxiety, with not feeling like yourself, you're feeling low in self-confidence, you're struggling with binge eating, eating too much, eating too little, call today to get started with a phone consultation. I would love to help you, and I am so confident we can get your nutrition back on track. My phone number is 860-451-9364. You can text or call. I only have a few spaces left in my schedule, and I'm very excited. I've actually hired 2 new part-time therapists. They are phenomenal with kids, teens, and young adults, and there will be Saturday morning availability now, which is very exciting. If you're looking to read more blog articles, look at more positive videos, and get an understanding for how I work doing holistic therapy, you can do so at wisdomwithinct.com. I'm Katie Ziskind, a licensed marriage and family therapist and 500-hour registered yoga teacher at Wisdom Within Counseling. I'm so passionate about helping, kids who are anxious through play therapy, adolescents who are insecure with really using the art, yoga, music, and animal therapies, as well as teens and young adults who are looking for direction. They're feeling lonely, feeling unwanted, feeling distant, really wanting to work through the whole self. So mind, body, and spirit, not just talking it out, looking at the symptoms, medication. That may be a piece of your treatment, but this looks at building your positive coping skills so that you can handle any tough feeling throughout your whole life. I'm located in Niantic, Connecticut at 8 West Main Street, right across from Niantic Center School, the same building as Wait No Longer, right next to Smith Acres. And I am so excited. I would love to hear from you, and I hope you have an awesome weekend.